Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the top 100 favorite games of mine of all time. And now we are halfway through, and today we'll be starting with the mid level up. So that's number 41 to 50 games that we will be telling you. So these are better than the games that were in 60 to 100. Well, these are all good games. Depends on what you like, but for me, these are much better than the games that I have mentioned before. And starting with number 50, which is going to be
Potion Explosion.
Potion Explosion. A very kind of classic game, a gateway game in which you will have a marble tray where the different colored marbles are coming down, and essentially what you're doing is you are trying to pick up a marble. Once you pick up a marble, if the marbles slide down, because they are all on a slide, marbles will slide down, and if the two marbles that come and hit each other, they were of the same colors, then an explosion will happen and you get to take those marbles as well. So you are essentially trying to find out, okay, where can combos happen. Okay, I should pick up a marble from this location and that will have a combo effect. It's going to hit more colors. I'll pick these up, and then the remaining marbles will hit each other, and then they are going to have another combo and another combo, and you're collecting these marbles in your resource pool, which is limited as well. So you will be collecting those. What you are essentially doing with these marbles is you are fulfilling recipes. So to create different potions, you need different kind of specific marbles. As soon as you complete those in your cauldrons, in your flask, which are available, then you will be completing that potion, flipping it up, and now that potion is available for not only scoring but also for their special effects. Using those special effects, you will be or special powers, you will be having more ability to score more points. So for example, you might be preparing a love potion which lets you steal one of the marbles from someone else because you have put a love spell on them. So
Hey, can I
you will
borrow
be
these
taking a
things?
marble from them, and there are different kind. One will let you take one marble of every color from the last row. So each of these spells are going to be different, and in each of these games you can shuffle what variety of the spell potions you can mix them up and have a variety of the game and get those drafted. The more difficult a potion to make, the more or variety of colors and more spell ingredients it needs, the more worthy of points it is as well. But the main hook of this game is going to be that marble dispenser. Now I do recommend to go with the second edition. The first edition came with cardboard dispenser, which is a pain to actually keep hooked and it might fall off. So in the second edition they came with a plastic dispenser, which is what we have. So you just have to make it once and then that's it. It's a very sturdy construction of
Though it's very noisy.
though noisy, yes. So that's Potion Explosion.
Honestly, I'm more surprised that this is your 50th favorite because I thought it would be lower on the list. I don't know why. I just don't seem that type of person.
To play easy games.
Yeah. But in my personal opinion, this is a very nice game. I do really like the marbles. It's like holding them in your hand and placing them in the correct positions. The different types of potions and the variety are very wonderful. And of course, I can't forget the art style. I really like the art style.
All right. So that's number 50, a family friendly game, Potion Explosion. On number 49 is going to be one of the very famous games on BGG list, Terraforming Mars. Now that you have not played. That's a complex combo tableau building game in which you will be building an engine using cards, and the game comes with hundreds and hundreds of cards with different kind of scientific stuff that you are trying to do to make Mars habitable. What essentially you're doing is that you will be initially drafting these cards, and then later on you can draw more cards as well. Each of these cards are going to have certain requirements. As long as you fill it, you can play that card, and that card is going to start giving you some permanent bonus. There are some one-time bonus cards as well, but they are going to give you some permanent bonus, which are going to be things like which will help you increase either your economy of earning more money or increasing your production of plants, titanium, steel, different kind of resources, as well as help you terraform Mars itself, which is the main objective. That is, you want to make it warm enough so that humans can sustain on it. So you want to have projects cards played which are going to increase the temperature of Mars. You want to increase the oxygen in the atmosphere, so planting more trees and doing different objectives, different kind of plants might increase the oxygen of this. The more of these terraforming activities you do, the more companies are going to invest in you. Your terraforming rating is increasing, which is going to let you earn more and more money for future rounds, because the companies are trusting to fund you more. Using that money, you can invest more in the technologies. At the end, whoever has more terraforming rating at the end of the game is going to be the winner. It's one of the most lovely engine building games, because as long as you can find the right combos, this card is going to help my this card, my this plant is going to generate heat, and my heat gets generated into transfer to the earth, to Mars, to generate me more points. My heat is worthy more than your points. If you can find combos like that, then it's going to be it's all about finding those real combos which are going to make this game really lovely for you. So that's Terraforming Mars, a very famous game and my number 49 most favorite game of all time. On number 48 is going to be Lost Cities, a very simple two-player card game by Rainer Knizia, in which what you're doing is you have different suit of cards you will be having. It's kind of similar to Battle Line, where you have different areas where you want to play the cards, and those need to be in numerical order. In Battle Line, you are making poker hands, but in this one, you want to have the cards in ascending order. Essentially, what you're doing is you are placing bets that how far away you can go in an expedition, and that's why it needs to be in ascending order. So what you're doing is you are playing a card in that specific different expeditions area, and it might be bad if you have very different cards in your hand. So for example, if you have already played a 2 value card and now you are waiting, and the other card you have in your hand is an 8 or 10, and you don't have any cards in between, it's going to be really bad if you play that 8, because you have to play a card on your turn. If you play just an 8, then that means you have just blocked yourself, and now you can no longer play the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. And you will be getting points based on how many cards did you put in that particular row of that particular suit, because for each expedition that you commit to, there is going to be a cost that you have to pay for going on that expedition. But in the end, if you cannot put that many cards in that row, you are just going to earn negative points for it. The hand of your cards, why it's a problem, your hand of card is limited, so you have to play a card to draw a new card, or pick a card which anyone else has discarded. So people are always looking at each other. The other player is looking, okay, that guy is going in expedition on this, for example, snow area or Sahara desert, then I have those cards which they need. I don't want to give those up. I don't want to discard them, otherwise they will pick them up. But if I don't discard this, then how will I get the cards which I need to play on my turn? And that's the decision which is going to be the crucial part of this game. Very short game, but filled with a lot of tension, anxiety, decisions, that what are you going to do. So one of my favorite, and you can take it out of the box and just carry a deck of cards with you as well to play anywhere you want. I've taken it to cafes and just played there even without the board as well.
You went to cafes?
Yes.
I've never seen you went to a cafe.
When we left you at your friend's house.
Ah, yeah.
And you can carry it around. So that's Lost Cities. You played it once or not?
I don't think so. I don't.
All right. The twist in this one is also the betting cards, because if you're really sure that okay, I can go in this suit more, you can take a bet and say I'm going to earn twice the points from it. But remember, if you were unable to complete that, you get negative points. It's twice the negative points as well, so it doubles anything that you get. So it's a really horrible mechanism. Alright, so that's number 48, Lost Cities. On number 47 is going to be another Dr. Rainer Knizia's game, which is Through the Desert. Now,
this one I played.
yeah. So in Through the Desert is a game very similar to Go, the classic game, well before Chinese game, I think, well before chess even. This is one of the very old games.
It's an
What you are
ancient game.
ancient games, but essentially this is much more simple than Go. And in case you want to play Go, I will recommend no, play Through the Desert. Essentially, what you are trying to do is you are placing these caravan camels to make a route, and you are trying to cordon off areas of the map by placing these camels. All you're doing on your turn is placing two camels. That's it. It's a combined pool of camels that is available of different colors, which represent the different trade routes, different trading goods which they are taking, and you are just adding them to your caravan. So your leader is represented by your color, but other camels are all the same. So you will be placing them, and what you're trying to do is cut off other players from reaching the watering wells, the oasis, and controlling the area all by yourself, because each of those watering wells is a point. Reaching the oasis is worth 5 points. If you cordon off or block off an area, then each space that you control is worth 1 point as well. And that's what you are essentially trying to do. Two caravans carrying the same goods can never touch each other. So when placing these caravans, you are thinking about those rules as well. Okay, his green caravan is over here, so my green caravan, if I place it over there, I can block him because he will not be able to expand, but then I cannot expand there as well. But I have area towards this side, so maybe I do want to place it over there. So those are the kind of decisions that you will be going for. You will see, oh, the yellow caravan tokens are, or the camels are getting finished up, so maybe my yellow I need to finish before I finish my pink one. So many good decisions coming out of just two actions. Take two camels, place them anywhere you want. So one of the very lovely games, and the new edition of the game comes with those cute camels which you want to put in your mouth as chocolates. Yes,
Don't you just love putting game components in your mouth?
which we recommend you do.
Why?
At least it's healthier than eating other food,
I mean,
eating sugar or carbohydrates.
I mean,
Plastic.
it's wood. It's wood or plastic.
No, these are plastic ones. So I think Kids Table Board Game is coming out with a reprint of this one. But even if you find not the first edition looked horrible. The desert map looks just bland, brown. But the second edition that came of this game has a beautiful map. It is double-sided map. On the back side there is a lake going in between, not a lake, a river going in between, and that adds variety to the game as well. So you can play that, or if you're waiting for a smaller box the size of Factory Funner, then a new edition of the game is going to be out soon as well. So that's my number 47. Through the Desert. On number 46 is going to be The Resistance, the only social deduction game on my top 100. Now, The
Did I play
Resistance,
this game?
yes, with your friends.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so The Resistance is pure, boiled down, very specific social deduction game, in which the players are going to be assigned different roles. Either they are in the Liberation Army, freedom fighters, whatever you want to call them, and the other are the angry government people. And what you're trying to do is, once you have those secret roles, you will be trying to either sabotage the missions as the government people, or as the liberation freedom fighters you want to complete the missions as your agency. That's what you're trying to do. So each game is going to be comprised of voting. So for example, the captain is going to say, okay, I'm going to take you two people with me on the mission. So you have three guys going on the mission, fine. Each mission is going to dictate how many people need to go on the mission based on number of player count. So if three people are going on the mission, then each player is going to secretly vote, place a card which is going to say that they sabotage the mission or they pass the mission. You're going to shuffle those up so you don't know which card came from who, and then those cards will be revealed. If the mission was sabotaged, the government player, the red player, gets 1 point. But now everyone knows that out of these three, at least one player is supporting the government. So next time you want to take someone on the mission, you have to decide, should I take these two and someone else, or should I take these two? Who do I trust more? You will be having those discussions that no, last time when these two and that player went, no sabotage happened, but maybe the traitor was faking it at that time. He purposefully passed the mission because he wanted people to trust him. That no, when I went on mission on first time, no sabotage happened. When we went on second time, that guy sabotaged the mission. And that's where you are putting seeds of misinformation and trying to place blame on other people and trying to win. Because if two missions are sabotaged, the government wins. The freedom fighters have to win all the missions, 4 or 5 again, depending on number of players, to win. So they have a more difficult condition to win. But that's how the game is balanced out, and that's why the Resistance is a very unique game. Now there are other variations of this game available, there are expansions of this game available which add special roles to the game. But if you wanted something clean without much rules explanation, then get the base, the Resistance, and I think that's going to be enough for everyone. So Isha, you played it with your friends, right?
Yes, I played it once with my friends, and I'll just say during that game that for some reason people suspected me, even though I was innocent, mainly because I was quiet, which, fair. Most people would also think that you were the imposter if you were quiet. Why did I say that?
It's fine. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you are trying to talk too much, maybe people start suspecting you. Oh, he's defending too much. He must be the imposter or the bad guy. But if you are keeping quiet, then people suspect you as well. So you have to really
you're
find
keeping
that
your secrets.
fine-tuned level that, okay, how much do I need to convince people that I am the good guy?
It's a thin line you need to stand on.
Yeah, and that's the Resistance, a social deduction game. Then on number 45 is going to be Aftermath, a Jerry Hawthorne game from Playdead Games. Now Jerry Hawthorne is very famous for his Mice and Mystics and Stuff Fables, but I think Aftermath exceeds much more than Mice and Mystics, because we played Mice and Mystics and we
Yes.
didn't enjoy it. Yeah, because it was too cumbersome. The rules were very simple and complex. Because the gameplay is simple. Oh, I go there, I roll dice and see what happens. But at the same time, the map rules are always complex. That okay, in this map you have to go through the hole and then you go to the opposite side, flip the board, and now there are crows in this one which are attacking you. Remember all those rules.
This isn't about Mice and Mystics, this is about Aftermath.
Yeah, so Mice and Mystics is more famous, but I'm saying why we didn't like it. Now, Aftermath changed the mechanism from, well, simple dice roller and dungeon crawler to a card playing mechanism where you can use your poker cards to play, to move around, to fight, and that adds a level of gameplay much above the other games. So it is still a dungeon crawler. You're using your mice, moving around and discovering a fabulous city, and a unique story, which is similar to kind of what Thanos did, that mysteriously people have all turned to dust, snapped
They
away,
all
vanished, and now the mice have gained, or animals have gained, some kind of sentient life, sentient understanding, and they are intelligence, and now they are using these equipments, making junkyard equipments to survive, find food, find water in this post-apocalyptic world, and trying to survive, also trying to find out what happened in this world. So that's Aftermath. Story wise it was unique, and of course the flip book mechanism is good. You don't have to set up any board, you just flip to page number 52 and there is a new map. Flip to page 34, you have a new map. So the maps are good as well. There is slight overhead of per map based rules as well. Sometimes there are those things, but again it was much better than everything he had done before, whether it's Stuff Fables or Mice and Mystics. I think this was the result of all of that, and that's why we enjoyed it much more. So Ishal, your thoughts on Aftermath?
I really like the little mice miniatures. They were cute, okay? Not many people in my family like mice, but I just thought they were cute.
And what about the cockroach?
No, they can die.
All right, so that's number 45, Aftermath, in which you will be fighting a lot of cockroaches.
I want to just smash him with a mullet.
All right, number 44 is going to be Bastion. You have not played that. Now don't confuse this game by the game Last Bastion, even though the theme
no.
of these game is same.
I played Bastion, but I didn't like it.
Okay. So Bastion is, I think, one of the least known games on my list, and I just love it. Um, I don't know why this game is not as much famous, but it's such a cool game because in Bastion you're doing a tower defense game. So you will be playing as different wizards which are moving around inside the tower to collecting mana from the mana fountains. Different mana is represented by different coins. You will be taking those coins, and once you have enough mana for any of the magic attack, different monsters have different colors as well, so you need that specific mana of that much quantity to defeat that monster. Fine. Up to now it's very simple. So it's a pick up and deliver. You move around, pick up those mana from different colored items. You're wasting actions moving around, but then you're delivering it on the face of the monster to kill them with your mana fireballs.
Or the neck, a good strike to the neck can be very deadly.
Yeah. But the thing that elevates this game in my very favorite games is because of the unique monsters in this one. Because every monster, there are certain spaces, it's a hexagonal board, and the monsters are going to come around the wall. And once any spot is available, the monsters are going to jump on that space. What you're trying to plan is there are certain areas where the monsters are going to be weaker. So for example, a blue monster is going to be weaker here. So maybe I want to wait till the monster goes up to that level and then I kill him before he enters. Sometimes the monsters have different abilities that you are going to activate. So for example, a monster can give defense values to the two adjacent monsters. So maybe before killing those two monsters, I want to kill the guy in the center who is defending them, and that makes it easy for the other two guys to be killed later on. But if I kill this guy who jumps a lot is going to jump from the back and come in this place, and nobody has enough mana to kill this one, and that is going to enter in the village. So I don't want to do that. So maybe I need to kill that one first, then kill the middle one. Then there will be a lot of planning that's going to be happening on this. And not only that planning, each of these monsters are going to have some unique superpowers underneath. If you kill those monsters, you get to gain that new magic power, a fireball, a teleportation spell, a prison spell to convert one mana to another mana. Different spells are there. So maybe I want to now don't kill this one because killing him will take me 3 turns. But if I kill that monster first, that's going to give me the mana prism. I will convert my existing blue coins to black mana, and using that black mana in my second turn I can kill that one. So instead of 3 turns, in my second turn I'm killing him, and then I'm killing the guy in the middle and then solving the puzzle. So it becomes a puzzle game rather than a castle defense game, and that's the real game. It's not a castle defense game, it's a puzzle game that you are solving with the different monsters, and that puzzle changes every time based on what kind of monsters you put in the deck, because the game comes with a variety of monsters and you can shuffle them up. There are boss fights in this one. You can select which bosses go in your deck and then have an enjoyable time a variety of times. So a game I highly recommend, which I wonder why it's not in my top 10 even. Maybe next time it is. But as of now, it's on number 44, Bastion.
That's still pretty good. No, I have nothing to say. Continue. I just don't like this game because his turns are way too long, and I don't like games where other people's turns are too long. I'm sorry, I just don't. In the game we're playing right now, he's like that, and they wake me up when he's done.
Alright, number 43 is going to be Scythe. One of the most famous games from Stonemaier Games. Scythe is a giant Euro game with area control or area majority kind of mechanisms, in which what you're trying to do is you are moving your workers and mechs to control different resources, to generate more resources and gather them, It's an efficiency puzzle that you're solving in this one, because on your player board all the actions are mentioned, but each action that you take you cannot do that again, so you have to find the right mechanism. You cannot waste any turns in this one. So first I will move my worker here, then I will go to the production stage. So each worker, where they are, they are going to produce the resources. Then I'm going to go to the for example, the mech creation phase action, which is going to, I'm going to use these resources to build a new mech. These are the kind of actions that you will be doing. But if you miss any of these steps, maybe you wasted a turn. Oh, this turn, okay, I'll just take one coin. You don't want to do that. You want the turns to be more useful, and that's why it's an efficiency puzzle with a giant map. Now the map might have different locations for different resources, but there is always a threat of fight as well. This is not a fighting game, even though you will see those mech miniatures and armies and fighting abilities. You have a military track as well, that how much is your military strength. You have these attack cards in your hand. So a good chunk of game is about military dominance, but you don't want to fight in this one. It's just you want to, it's like being a nuclear power in real world. You actually don't want to use your nuclear assets, you don't want to blow up anything, but you just want to have them so that the other guys know you're a nuclear power. Don't mess with me. That's what Scythe is all about, that you want to be strong enough that don't mess with me, don't come in my area, I'm going to destroy you. And that's what makes Scythe a unique game rather than an area control game where you are fighting every time. Scythe becomes a pure Euro game where you want to be best economic power with the level of threat. So, and the center area is going to be lucrative as well, because it's going to give you some new abilities. A new workshop is going to be available there, and everyone wants to control it because it's worth more points. The game can be completed in various ways, so there is no one way of victory in this one, and multiple ways can be used to win this one, and that's why it's a very lovely game. Number 43, Scythe. On number 42 is going to be Mentions of Madness second edition specifically.
I like this game. I like this game a lot.
Alright, Mentions of Madness is again a game set in the Arkham Horror series, the H.P. Lovecraft universe, where you are exploring different kind of mansions. And instead of a dungeon crawl, this is more of an exploration game, because when you start the game, you actually don't know what you are supposed to do. Well, there is one page of story that you are told through the app. So this is an app control game. You will need either a computer, laptop, iPad, whatever, to tell you, which acts as the game master and tells you which tile to place. When you open a door, what happens, what kind of monsters come on it. So even though you will be playing in with physical components, the game guides you how they are going to work. And even when you do some different dice rolls, you have to input the results back in the app to tell, okay, your hit was successful or not. Things like that are going to be there. Now, what essentially you're trying to do, you will get a snippet of the story, so you have some idea what you want to investigate in the house, but you want to explore each and everything in these haunted houses. There might be some crooked pictures and you want to see, okay, well, that picture looks suspicious. There might be some scrawlings on the wall. You have to go there and waste an action to see what has been scrawled on the wall, but maybe it's going to haunt you forever and you don't want to do it. You will not have enough time to explore each and every nook and cranny of these haunted houses, but you want to have enough information and gather enough evidence that you can solve the case itself, because only by exploration you will be able to find what's your final objective and what do you need to do. And that's what you will be doing. Then of course there will be monsters coming up, cultists will be coming as usual, your typical run of the day. Cultists will be coming, which are present in everyday life. Yes. Yeah, they will be coming as well, doing their ritualistic kind of things, and you have to stop them before things get worse and worse, which eventually they are going to. And you have to control that you don't go insane. You will be doing different kind of checks, level checks, skill checks to see if you succeed against going mad. And that's Mansions of Madness.
I already said I really like this game. It's so simple and the setup is really easy. The character abilities can be useful, and Especially the stories. The stories are always my favorite part. They're really nice. I really like all of them.
Yeah, especially if you think that dungeon crawlers have an inherent problem that the map setup always takes time, but not in Mansions of Madness,
No.
because you can just start this game and the game is going to tell you, okay, now place tile number 22, now place tile number 15 and connect it here, or the lobby tile, or the hall tile, or the so one
Right.
tile at a time. It will keep telling you when you will explore it, then it tells you where do you want to go. So the map setup becomes easy because instead of concentrating it in one time, it gets split into multiple turns, and that's why also you do know where you are supposed to go. Only by exploring, it's like the fog of war, that only by exploring you get to find out that okay, this is where I was supposed to go. So that's Mansion of Madness, specifically the second edition, because in the first edition one character had to play as the game master, who is going to be reading from a book and telling you what tile to place. So just use an app for that and play it cooperatively. All right, on number 41, the last one for today is going to be Blood
Blood
Rage.
Rage.
Blood Rage is a Simon game from Eric Lang, in the Eric Lang famous series of area control games. And this was a Viking themed one. I think one of the most famous ones. People always dispute Rising Sun is the best or Blood Rage, but Blood Rage always gets more point. It also depends that if you have more players and more players who are more interested in bidding mechanism, Rising Sun might be better. But for others, slightly lesser player count, and if you don't want any bidding mechanism, Blood Rage is going to be the better game. Now in Blood Rage, you're doing area control. Each player starts with the same kind of team, players, warriors to start with, but then you're going to draft the cards, and that's where your abilities are going to be very different from the other players. So you will be drafting those cards, and that's going to dictate your strategy. So maybe you want to heavily invest in quest to go to various areas and do area control of those areas. By the time the game ends, the round ends, you're going to gain points from that. Maybe you want to heavily invest in killing other people's soldiers, because that's going to give you more points. So maybe you want to draft more cards which are going to give you action battle points, like thought cards. Then maybe you want to have investment of in monsters. You want to have monster cards because that particular monster is going to support you. Only the player who plays that monster card gets to control that monster for the rest of the game. So, and what you are essentially doing is sending your soldiers, recruiting soldiers into different areas on this island, and you are fighting. Those soldiers that are getting killed are being sent to Valhalla, which can be worth more points as well if you are supporting Loki. Now apocalypse is happening, or Armageddon, what do they call it?
Armageddon.
Well, no, I forgot the term, what Vikings use specifically. So the end of the world is approaching in each of the rounds, and the areas are getting destroyed as well. So the map gets smaller and smaller in each of the round, and you're trying to control these resources while your tribe is becoming more and more powerful as well as the time goes by. At the end of the game, you're going to see the total points that you are able to get, and that team is going to be the winner. And that's Blood Rage. And I think the only true area control game on my top 100 list, because area control games are not one of the favorite games in my family, but I really enjoyed Blood Rage a lot, and that's why it's on number 41, Blood Rage.
I don't remember.
All right, so that brings us from 41 to 50 for my favorite games of all time. And as always, if you're enjoying this list, if you think your choices match my list, don't forget to leave that in the comment. That's it for me. Happy gaming.
Happy